Like an example, I was talking to a friend and he said randomly, he was like, being born rich is a burden because you're kind of given all of the things that you could dream about from day one. So where do you go from there? And how do you surpass what you've already been given?
I would love to be sitting on a private
Right,
jet,
same.
not knowing where to go. Okay,
Me too.
please give me that struggle. Like God bless me with that struggle.
Same. Welcome.
Hey,
It's so nice to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm all alone today, so I'm going to be winging it the best that I can.
Aw.
But I'm super excited that you're able to make it. And unfortunately, Gabriel's sick today. So,
Boo.
but the show must go on. And he's still behind the scenes, so he's always the one editing. So ultimately, his fingers are all over everything we're doing here today. But super excited to have you. So if you want to introduce yourself to the audience, hopefully they know who I am by now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Noah Neitch, and yeah, I guess you'll learn a lot about me today.
Yeah. So Noah, where are you from?
I grew up in Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Oh, it was very dry, very dusty, super hot.
And did you have brothers or sisters growing up in Arizona?
No, I'm an only child, which explains the whole, begging
Yes.
for attention, but
Same.
here we are.
That we could talk about that for quite some time. I'm also an only child, and we don't really run into those very
We don't.
often.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think that's why I started a podcast, because I was like, I need more attention. Is that what kind of has always been the theme of your life? Do you feel like you've always been sort of an entertainer, like the spotlight? Because I certainly can relate with that.
I definitely have always loved people, all eyes on me.
Yes.
I feel like I have to take up space.
Yeah, for sure. I think too, just naturally, and I'm sure we'll get into this, but growing up queer, I was very much like reserved, and so now that I'm more open and free with who I am, I'm much more like, all right, I want the attention because I like put myself aside for so long and tried to like hide who I was. What was it like growing up in Arizona? Were you like out? Were you?
I was not. So I didn't tell my mom until the day that I was moving here.
Wow.
I made that promise to myself when I was moving from Arizona that I would tell my mom.
Sure.
And to like expand on that, I guess, I'm not the type of person that really like felt a need
Sure.
to, have a coming out moment.
Hmm.
Coming out for me wasn't really like a moment. It was a series of like really bad hairstyles and crying at Glee, okay?
Sure. I get it.
I feel like everyone else just already knew.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I mean, me too. I totally can relate. Yeah, I never really had like a coming out moment until, I was in my mid to late 20s, and we were like at a fast food Mexican restaurant, and I was like, I'm gay, right? Like, it was like I didn't want to make it a thing, but I assumed everyone already knew. I was dancing to Britney Spears with a towel on my head in front of my mom when I was 6, like making her sit there to not even see her reaction, just because I wanted someone to watch me. And my friends were like, what was she doing in this moment? Because later in life she would be super confused at me coming out, and it says that she had no idea, and I'm like, what was she? I don't even know what she was thinking in those moments, because it was really just about me.
Yeah. No, my mom like was kind of the same way. So she is the least judgmental person you will ever meet. Like, she just doesn't like to assume anything about anybody.
Sure.
And so even after coming out now, like, she's been more inclined to like seeing it in people, and she's like, Noah, like, I never realized these people were gay.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mom, like, what the hell do you mean?
Where
Like,
have you been?
hello? Like, they're literally out here like waving a rainbow flag.
Sure,
Like, girl, what are you
sure.
doing?
Yeah. Sometimes out of sight, out of mind. And also, like, our parents grew up obviously in a different generation, a different time. And sometimes they're just kind of in their own little world, just like we are. Sometimes when I leave LA, it's really apparent to me how many people are not gay.
Yeah. No, same. Yeah. I'm like, oh, wait, straight people do exist.
Did you know you were going to stay in Arizona when you finished high school?
I wanted to come to California.
You always knew that? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom grew up in California. She and I are like best friends.
Yeah.
But she grew up in California, so we would come to Disneyland all the time. And I love the beach.
Yeah.
And I just knew like Arizona wasn't for me.
Sure.
So It's been a dream come true so far.
Yeah, speaking of Disney, so I'm from Florida, so my perspective of Disney is also very strong and a
Okay.
little different, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I had actually never gone to Disneyland until recently. I had always been going to Disney World, and, growing up 2 hours away from Orlando was a dream for me. I mean, my parents, we didn't have a lot of money, so when it was a weekend and we could, like, get away, we would just get a cheap hotel and go to Disney on the weekends, and I always dreamed of working there because I absolutely loved it. And I think you currently have some sort of gig. I think I see a few reels or snapshots for your uniform. So how did that come about?
Okay, so my Disney story, if you will. I started in the college program, which is like an internship at the parks, and they do have one in Florida still, but they haven't brought it back to California.
I see.
All this is my own opinions, by the way. This is not Mickey's opinion.
Exactly.
But so I started in attractions, actually.
Cool.
And I worked at the big Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I got to push the little buttons and like make it spin around.
I mean, come on. That is iconic.
And then when COVID came around, it was so heartbreaking. They had to end the program and like send all of us home. And for me, it was more than just like working at Disney. It was, I moved to California. Like I had planned to not go back and finish school. Like I had come out here, I'd found a way to do it and like start modeling, acting, all that.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, like, what the heck? Like, here I am going back to Arizona. And to add that, like, extra layer on it, I was like, oh, now I have to, like, hide myself again. So,
because you had come out to California and started being more yourself. And I guess that transition of not just coming out to your mom was more like coming out to just everything. You just were, like, ready to be a new person here, it sounds like.
I feel like I was really starting to shed, like, the mask that I would put on in high school of like trying to fit in. And yeah, so during my college program, I had gone on my first like real date with a guy. I guess it wasn't really a date.
We could call it a date. It was romantic interest there.
A little nighttime date.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it was fun. It was good. Ended up staying the night, and then I met my friends on the beach the next day.
Wow.
And I still told them it was a girl, but
hey, I feel like everyone's coming out journey is completely different. And it needs to be comfortable for you. I always say that, just because you hear someone and inspired by their story, you don't need to mimic their story. Just know that your time will come, and you want to make sure, number one, you feel safe. Number two, you feel like the people around you are going to support you. And number three, nothing major is going to change in your life after you do it. Those are the things you want to make sure, or you're ready for all of those potential consequences. Because, again, you come out to LA, and sometimes I forget, again, like what is the perception of people in my family or my friends back home, because I'm growing out here at a different pace, at least in regards to how I see myself, how open I am with being queer and showing my femininity. Then when I go back home, I'm like, wait, I need to catch everybody up with who I am now, which can be a little exhausting. Because it feels like you're wearing multiple masks, which in general, when you're younger and gay, you're kind of doing that. You're putting on that masculine mask to go to school, and then you can kind of take it off when you get home. Did you feel like that was a big part of your persona at school in Arizona, like trying to make sure everyone thought you were masculine enough?
I knew I was different from other boys, but I didn't really think it was a bad thing.
Sure.
Like, that's learned behavior.
Right. One
of the like most supportive people that just like saw right through and saw me first, I believe, aside from my mom, would be my grandma, which is gonna shock anybody to like hear this.
Sure.
And she's not doing too well right now. I'm just getting old, so it might get a little hard. But
for sure.
She would just let me like run around in her heels and like wear her makeup, put makeup on her.
Amazing.
And she like showed me all these musicals she loved, and we would, watch Devil Wears Pradawith together. And I'll cherish that time so much. And it'll be hard to lose her, because even though I know her political opinions like don't align with mine, like I know she just has this really deep love for me and really truly saw who I was without me having to tell her, and I think that's just so special.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, going back to your question, I guess I didn't really know, like, it was something I was told by society to feel bad about until this Regina George ass wannabe in the 4th grade was like, Noah, you're so gay. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what did you just call me? So I went to my teacher at the time and I was like, this bitch just said I'm gay. Like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't really remember what she said, but I just remember being like, oh, like that's maybe something I shouldn't be.
Right.
You know, I kind of just blew it off and continued watching Disney Channel in Hannah Montana.
Oh my God.
There was this guy in our high school, fabulous. He would come to the lunchroom and walk around school wearing heels, and he was like the best dancer I've ever seen. Like, I swear to God.
Incredible.
And I would get so scared when he'd come up to me, and he was so sweet, but I was just like, you're gonna like see right through me. You're gonna know who I am. Like, I can't be around you. Like, I'm scared to know you.
Yeah.
And like, I was always like nice and cordial about it, but it would just give me so much anxiety because I was so scared he would see who I truly was.
Speaking of someone who was also gay in my high school, so there was a person who was a year ahead of me, and he was actually the valedictorian. He was a genius, but super flamboyant. No one really picked on anyone in my school. Again, it was Christian school. We all tried to get along.
Yeah.
But I do remember specifically avoiding him like the plague because I didn't want anyone to see him see me because I knew that he knew that I was gay as well. And, you know, it's almost like you mentioned, like that unspoken sort of like truth that we can kind of see in each other.
Yeah.
And I would just like avoid him because I didn't want anyone to see his reaction or see him like engage with me and realize that we were both much more similar than I was trying to hide. So I totally get that. And it's difficult because even now I'm slowly unpacking like this dark-rooted sort of way that I view femininity and how I try to balance who I really am and still trying to like understand that. You know, my partner and I, we talk about it a lot, but Drag Race has been a huge eye-opener for me because I never experienced so many queer stories where people were so embracing of their femininity. How did you kind of get into this place where you're like, I'm just gonna start like peeling away the layers of this hyper mask image that I'm supposed to be?
Okay.
I know, loaded question, right?
I'm like, wow, we're getting so deep.
And so quickly.
I know, right? I feel like it's kind of been a rubber band effect moving out here because going from Arizona where everyone's in like Bass Pro Shop hats and like no style whatsoever, like Quicksilver, like I don't know, still shops at like Zoomies.
Yes.
Like you come out here and everyone's in like, you know, custom.
Yes.
Sometimes just wearing like strings around and I'm like,
cutting it at their house, making it their own. Maybe bought it at Ross, but like totally, you know, customize it to themselves. Because here people want to express themselves through what they wear.
Yes.
And I feel like very similarly in Florida, it's instead of expressing yourself with what you wear back home, it's more like hiding yourself with what you wear. Even like my straight friends or girls, a lot of the time will sort of just mimic what they see as like socially acceptable attire.
Right.
And then when you can kind of realize that that's not really a rule you have to follow, there's a lot more creativity that you can build within yourself. And, you know, I think a lot of it goes back to drag as well. I sometimes even feel like when I'm going to the gym, I'm putting on drag. Like even this like sort of hyper mask, like gym clothes vibe. Like this is like my gym drag. And then some days I want to be like more feminine. So I wear like a crop top and like coochie cutters, you know, and be like that. And that's like my different sort of drag personas. And that's how I've been able to like, I guess, compartmentalize the different like varying forms of myself that I'm still trying to express and like bring them all together because they're all pieces of me that I've really, again, fragmented over my life.
Yeah, no, it's all part of you. Like we talk about this in acting a lot. There's so many different like things that make up who you are that make you like so special.
Sure.
So you can't just play an idea of like what you're supposed to be or what someone tells you you're supposed to be because that's not always the full picture. Like everyone has a different story. Everyone has different things that have happened to them and that all like shows to who we are.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of acting, did you always know you wanted to be an actor? Were you watching Hannah Montana and being like, I can do that? Because, I mean, let's be honest, it's one of the best shows of all time.
If I ever personally got to, you know, spend the day with Miley Cyrus, I would freak out.
Yeah, to say the least.
I love her.
Yeah.
We all joke about like who we would lose our blue IDs for. They're like our company IDs. And Miley Cyrus would be mine.
Amazing.
Next up would be Dolly Parton. who I was introduced to from, Miley Cyrus on Hannah Montana as the grandma.
Incredible.
And that's such a special like thing for them to get to have.
For sure. Because you're how old? Remind me again.
25.
25. So
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Yes. Gen Z.
So what would you say is the root sort of philosophy of you and your friends as Gen Z? Like millennials, I would say we are traumatized. That's our philosophy. No, yeah, like how would you, because it's funny, I have a few friends who are Gen Z and it's so bizarre to me because I grew up always hanging out with like the older people and now I am the older people.
Yes.
So it's really weird.
I also relate to like hanging out with older people.
Sure.
I love wine.
Yes. Hey, that's millennial.
And a lot of people my age will like look at me like I am this like alien person that I'm like, can we just have a glass of wine? I mean, I'll throw it back with like a vodka soda or tequila soda when I need to.
Sure.
But if I'm like, trying to have a chill little night, I'll throw it back with wine.
Why not?
But yeah, for your question, I feel like Gen Z, I feel like we are kind of an in-between generation.
Sure.
And I feel like we're also very traumatized. Like I technically lived through like 9/11.
Sure, right.
And while I was too young to like personally experience it, like I have friends and family and people I have met through Disney that have had their whole lives turned around because of it.
Right.
We've gone through so many different political shifts and just learning history like in the school system.
Yeah.
It could be just how it's presented, but it never seemed so polarizing before.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that even to my parents is something that's just so like core shaking.
Yeah, for sure.
And then to have like the pandemic happen, everyone like college, rightfully so, is so accessible now, but it's creating like a surplus in the job market. So it's like I have not been able to get a like, big boy job if I had wanted to.
Sure.
So I think we're just like an in-between, traumatized, like where do we go from here? Like please give me some sort of direction.
Yeah.
So
how did you get into deciding that acting was for you beyond just watching Hannah Montana?
Yeah. Another Disney Channel reference.
Sure.
I know. I'm not a Disney gay.
You just work there.
I just work there.
I mean, I'm a proud Disney gay at this point. I've been called it so many times, but I'm a Disney World gay. I'm learning to be a Disneyland gay.
Maybe one day I'll accept it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was watching High School Musical.
Sure.
And honestly, the foundation, because like truly, finally, I saw a boy on the screen, and it would be Ryan.
Sure.
He wasn't gay in the movies, sadly, but he just wasn't into like sports, and he wasn't into like skating or like doing dumb straight bro things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
He wanted like he was accepted by the other guys too, because it's a Disney movie. But I saw him on the screen, and I was like, oh, like I can celebrate those parts of myself and go after that. So. That's what I did in middle school. I did choir and theater and all that. Did a lot of productions at my church. My mom took me, oh my gosh, to so many music lessons. I did piano, voice.
Wow.
My dad, this is a good story.
All right.
So we are in the cafeteria before 5th grade starts. And my dad wanted the pamphlet for like the dance group.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Like only girls do it. The name of the dance group was Twinkle Toes.
I'm pretty sure someone has called me that before.
Yes. I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. Like this was after the girl had called me gay. Like, I just couldn't do it. So he was like, if you don't grab it, I'm going to go sign you up and you're going to do it.
Wow.
And part of me deep down was like, I kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just not going to go grab this brochure for him. So he went over and signed me up, and I was the only boy in this group. Yeah. So, the videos are priceless. It was some like 70s song that we did.
Wow. So wait, so are your parents still together?
They are, yeah.
That's amazing. So my parents divorced when I was 2, but it's amazing to hear that your dad was so supportive of things that would be considered, eye raising for maybe some other fathers out there. Was that pretty much consistent with how you grew up, or?
Yeah, he never had an issue with me singing and dancing and stuff. He loved it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's really important, I think, for us to have, especially when we're younger, some sort of masculine person in our life, make us feel okay with wanting to do things that are beyond the path. I definitely didn't have that, which is likely why I never pursued things like, I really wanted to do gymnastics. I really wanted to be a cheerleader. I would have loved to take dance. And I had a lot of girlfriends that could, but after like the first initial ask of these types of things and getting the reaction of people around me, I was probably like 5 or 6. And I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to ask again. And I just really at that moment sort of like imploded it all and just never really let it come out again. I would do things like a lot of like family functions. And I tell my partners all the time because we get into these deep conversations about our childhoods. And I'm like, when I was like 6, 7, 8, I would perform in front of everybody. It wasn't even about the audience. Like I wasn't even interested in what they were responding or how they were responding to me. I just wanted to be a performer. And I remember a lot of the times I would be like mimicking the weatherman. I really wanted to be a
Oh my
weatherman.
gosh.
Or like some form of like being on television.
Wait, let's hear the voice.
I couldn't even.
Come on.
Good morning, Los Angeles. No, I don't know.
I need this to happen.
Can you imagine? No, I mean, I would totally do it, definitely for a gig. But yeah, I just really wanted, to express myself and entertain in that way. And as like puberty snuck in around like 12, 13, the hormones started kicking in. Why are you crossing your legs from girls asking me that I was dressing weird or appearing feminine. Getting called gay, I just really shut all of that off. And I was not athletic at all, but my friends skateboarded and they surfed. And so surfing was something that I could like kind of do because it wasn't too hard for me. And if I fell into the ocean, it wasn't painful. So I really leaned into that. And then the clothing was really easy because like you mentioned, you just walk into a surf shop and buy everything and you look like everybody else. So it was very easy for me to like hide my inner Hannah Montana. But again, she's slowly coming out now.
Yeah.
So as a kid, you knew entertaining was definitely on your horizon. And it sounds like both of your parents were super supportive. Were there like points in your life where you're like, all right, I know I'm going to go to school for dance or drama, or I know this is going to be my education as well? Or where did you take your education?
I wanted to do really well in school because I wanted to go to a good college and like get the hell out of Arizona,
So this was like high school era?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I was like, let's find something we want to do. And I realized later on that I was having career envy. Like there were so many things I would want to do and I couldn't pinpoint it because I wanted to do everything.
Sure.
And I realized now that it's just because I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
And I want to have all of those different experiences. And the reason that I wanted to be a lawyer would be from like Drop Dead Diva or Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
Which sounds so stupid, but like it's true.
I mean, those movies have inspired, if not thousands, tens of thousands of people to go into law.
Yes.
And we all want to make a difference and we all look different than what maybe we see in our day-to-day life as a lawyer. And so sometimes you see something on TV and you're like, oh, that's me. I can do that. And then like you mentioned, though, it could be just the fact that you want to partake in each role. You want to try and dabble a little bit as a doctor, a little bit as a lawyer. And I truly believe that you can be anything you want at any age, at any time. You just have to put it in your schedule. You just have to find the time to make it happen for you. So yeah, I mean, so you decided then that all these extracurricular ideas of trying different, occupations were actually just reinforcing your real dream of being an actor.
Yeah, so I started college as pre-med.
Yeah, all right.
I sat down in my first biology class and I called my mom right after and I was like, there's no way in hell this is going to happen. I'm so sorry. Like, you're not going to have a son that's a doctor.
That's all right. You are not the only one who's had that experience. And so you realized then you wanted to switch majors, or did you?
I switched majors and I still didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I needed something. So I changed to digital marketing.
Very nice.
And at that time I had started to get back more into modeling and stuff like that. I had a post kind of go viral with Sabrina Carpenter's fan group.
What?
Before I was out, I brought her flowers to a concert with a little card that said, I'm secretly in love with you.
Aww.
major stalker behavior. Like, I really was hoping I'd have her at Disney so I could tell her the story and like deeply apologize and like just make sure she doesn't have like a restraining order on me, like all of that. So bad. But yeah, the fandom like shipped us together. I would like to say like I was the original Joshua Bassett.
There you go. It's true. I mean, it's posted. It's there. So is it still there? Can I find this?
It's there.
Oh my God,
if you scroll back.
Snooping.
Yeah. So then I realized like, oh, like I kind of like this attention on social media. So I started going for it and doing more like modeling stuff around Arizona with Phoenix Fashion Week. I was the face of the Bentley Scottsdale Polo Championships.
Amazing.
Which was really fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need to go hide those pictures now. My hair's awful in that. Oh crap. But yeah, digital marketing just kind of aligned with all that.
Absolutely.
Except they didn't tell me like we weren't going to be learning about like social media posts and stuff because that was also new.
Right.
It was a like shit ton of research.
Wow. So it was like, we're going to really throw the book at you.
Yeah.
So speaking of making it, I happen to see that maybe you're in a movie. Can you tell me how this even came to be and what this is about?
So, funny story, I was sitting in the salon getting my hair done.
Yes.
And I got this email that was like, we would love to book you for this role. Like, are you interested? Are you available? And I was sitting there like,
because that's not usually how it happens, right? Usually you have to like beg and plead and look at me. Let me test and test and test.
And I don't remember, but like I didn't know who these people were when they emailed me. But I think I auditioned for them for the like lead role.
Wow.
Which obviously like that's not me. It's this like straight like hot hunky ripped up like basketball player.
Could be.
I know. I need to have you be my personal trainer.
Got you. So that role, obviously, you were like, "This isn't what I'm gonna get," so you forgot about it.
Yes.
And
then they emailed me and they were like, "We have a role for a gay cheerleader. Like, would you want to do it?" And I was like, yes. Like, bring it on. This is my dream. Like, let's do it. And it was such a fun experience. The cast was amazing.
Wow.
Noah Andre leads, and he is one of the funniest dudes you'll ever meet.
Very cool.
And I got really close with Olivia Rose Williams, who plays Sophia in the movie, which is kind of like a Regina George vibe.
Sure.
She's so great. I love her. We want to work together on a film in the future, so we need to make it happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I guess that's one of the really amazing parts of like being in a movie, whether it's a big part or small part, you get to sort of bump elbows with people in the field and make friends. And you're obviously very charismatic, or you wouldn't have gotten into this far. I mean, that's life, right? And being in acting, you're a very charismatic person. So I'm sure it's very easy for you to make friends. And so having those opportunities is wonderful, right?
Yes. No, yeah. Being on set is amazing and acting is so fun. Being on like around the industry, it can be incredibly toxic in a way if you're on the wrong side of things, but if you find the groups of people who are there for the right reasons and love what they do, it's just the most rewarding experience to know like you're all there for the same reason, doing the same things. It's so cool. Like you can't put it in words.
Incredible. So what is the movie called and where can people watch it?
Yes. It's called Cheer Up Baby and it's on Drama Box. The last time I checked, we were actually at #1.
Incredible.
And it's up, I think, at like 15 million views. It's insane.
Wild. Is it weird to like, is this kind of like your first big exposure in film?
Yeah, this would be my first thing, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, you're already starting at #1 and only up from here.
I hope so. It's going to be so fun. I'm so excited.
So, these things go by so fast when we sit and talk, but for the kids out there, or maybe someone is not a kid, maybe they're my age, or maybe they're older than me, and they still have a dream to move out to LA and to start acting, what kind of advice, and you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect advice, but what would you say just in your journey was helpful for you that maybe someone told you or you would give people out there who just want to try and follow their dreams out here in LA?
You can never give up. You have to keep going no matter how hard it seems, no matter how many people tell you you're never going to make it, you're not the right fit, you're too gay. You have to push through and believe that dream you have, that calling that you're being told is part of your soul and the reason that you're being driven to do that. So you just have to keep pushing forward.
Sure.
I'm really inspired by a quote by Walt Disney. He once said it's kind of fun to do the impossible. And so that's what I'm trying to do out here, is do the impossible.
I can totally relate, and for me, I've wanted to move to LA since I was like, I could even think and function, and it took till I was 35 to finally say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And some people, you need to put like just little pieces in front of your past to get you there. Others just pull the trigger. But there's something for, either side. Whatever's going to be good for you may not be the best for everyone else, but follow your dream. That's going to lead you to wherever you need to be to feel your best. And I think that's what we're both doing. I'm so glad you came.
Me too.
Hopefully we can have you back. That's really the goal.
Yes, please. I would love to.
We would have a follow-up with you maybe at some point and see how things are going.
Yeah, we can have a little gossip session. Maybe talk about like bad dates.
Yes, we should definitely do that, and more Disney.
Yes.
Thanks again.
Yes, I'm so glad you brought me on. I'm so happy to be here.
My pleasure.